So I want to share with you a drill that I've been doing recently in the pool that I feel like is really helping me in several ways. And so first I'm going to show you what the drill is, and then I'm going to explain to you the way that I feel like it's working, and then you're free to try it for yourself and see if you can reap the same benefits. So essentially what you're going to need is one fin and one paddle. And what you're going to do is you're going to put a fin on one foot, and so like hypothetically we're going to start with the fin on the right foot, and then we're going to put a paddle on the left hand, and then you're just going to swim like 100 freestyle. And then what you'll do is you'll trade, put the fin on the other foot, put the paddle on the other hand, and then swim another 100. And what I've been doing is like every time I've been swimming, I've been like doing my warm up, and then I do 6 100s alternating the single fin paddle drill. And specifically what you're looking for is to feel the timing and coordination that happens when you emphasize what one leg is doing in coordination with the opposite arm. So something that maybe people don't think about, and actually let me go back and say specifically, this is for distance freestylers who are trying to get a good timing of the 2-beat kick in the rhythm. And so a 2-beat kick is when you have like one kick per stroke. And the timing of that can be challenging to teach, but if you put a fin on one foot and a paddle on the other hand and just sort of slow it down, make it long, and keep doing it until it feels somewhat coordinated, your brain will just learn how to do it. Like your brain will figure out the timing of how it's supposed to work. And so specifically what you might find when you do this drill is that when the timing feels, when your brain goes, oh, that was it, that felt good, what's happening is the timing of the kick and the catch and the pull of the opposite arm are happening at the same time, right? So as my right foot is giving a strong downbeat kick is at the same time that my left hand is entering and getting a good catch and starting that pull, right? So it's boom, like that. And then on the other side, it goes this way. So there's this, the reason that this works for swimming is because our bodies naturally want to move with this contralateral pattern, meaning like opposite leg, opposite arm, opposite leg, opposite arm. That happens when we're walking, when we're running, when we're swimming freestyle, specifically with the 2-beat kick in this rhythm. And the timing of that can be challenging for some people, for a lot of people, just sort of depending on your background and what your typical movement patterns are. But that single paddle fin drill, when you first do it, it might feel extremely awkward. Like, you know, when you put the fin and paddle on, you're like, what's happening? But the more you do it, and when I say the more you do it, I mean like if you did 6 100s every time you got in, it might take you, like you'll feel better probably by number 5 and 6, but then you'll feel even better on day 2 and even better on day 3 and even better on week 3 as you continue to practice this. And so what I feel my brain learning from this is specifically getting the both legs to work sort of evenly with the kick. So what happens is with a lot of swimmers, and I coach on deck, so I see this a lot, is that swimmers will have sort of an uneven, like lopsided stroke where it's easy to rotate to one side, but it feels more restricted rotating the other way. And that's pretty, I don't want to say it's normal, but it's common. And what happens is typically this, if you have a dominant side that you breathe to, and I'll use me as an example here, I breathe to my right. It's very easy and natural for me to rotate to the right. So as I'm swimming and I rotate to the right, I've got space for my head to come out of the water and get air. When I'm doing that, my left leg is the one kicking, and as my left leg kicks this contralateral pattern, and it's a fascial like spiral chain pattern that is being used, it rotates me to the right, which allows space for me to breathe. But then when I put my other hand back in, my right hand in, and I need to be rotating left, that should be started with my right leg and my right hip comes down, and then it should rotate that way to have like more of an even stroke. But over the years, I've been swimming for 40 some years, always breathing to the right, and over that time, the right leg has just gotten, I don't know if you call it weak, it's lazy, it just hasn't been doing a lot, it hasn't needed to do a lot. And so what happens is when I put the fin on just that one foot, and then the paddle on the one hand, is it brings my brain's awareness to what those limbs can be contributing to the power of the stroke. And over time, what I've found is a couple of things. One, even when I take the fin off, my right leg is now participating, and I'm feeling like a lot more just really solid and smooth, sort of rocking as I'm swimming, even without the tools. Secondly, is that when we watch really good, this is an advanced concept, but when I watch really good fast swimmers swim, they tend to make fast swimming look effortless. And a lot of the reason is because they're getting a bit of, we'll call it free speed, but because of the timing of like their catch and their kick, they're getting a little bonus glide that when you get this timing right, it shoots your body forward in like a free speed kind of way, where it's like people interpret this as glide. If they're watching a swimmer, they're like, look at that swimmer glide. But what's happening is when people don't have this timing right and they try to glide, what happens is they just stall themselves out and their momentum really slows. And then the next stroke they take, they have to like really try to restart that momentum. But swimmers who are effective and efficient and have the timing right of the way that the catch and the kick go together, is that the drive that they're getting through their whole body shoots their body forward while they're gliding. So it looks like they're gliding, but what they're not doing is losing momentum. And they're not losing momentum because they've got so much of it that's stemming from that strong two-beat kick that is shooting their body forward. And so they can use that momentum to then like let themselves glide into the next stroke, and then they get across the pool faster with fewer strokes with literally less energy than what some less efficient swimmers are. Less efficient swimmers are using more energy because they're missing that extra oomph. So if you're looking to develop that oomph, or if you're looking to just balance out your stroke because it feels sort of uneven from one side to the other, I would suggest or challenge you to go ahead and use the single paddle, single fin drill. Learn that contralateral pattern, just keep doing it until your brain figures it out, and then see what you notice when you go to swim. I'm feeling way better having done that. I'd suggest giving it a couple weeks, 6 100s every practice, see what you